And I think we're live. And I'm pretty sure I have YouTube muted, so I think I'm slowly evolving into a better human being.
Slowly. Just
maybe
slightly.
not. Slowly but surely. We are live. Welcome, everybody. Hopefully, StreamYard comments work, or else it's going to have nothing for a while. I'll have to keep alt tapping. But, welcome back to another episode of Sugoi, Boyz. It's been a little bit. I went on, quite the adventure recently, and then J-Chip from the J-Chip Show drops a bomb just before the podcast, which could be a whole another separate video. Maybe I will make that video. Maybe I'll write, but whatever. Welcome back. I'm sure J-Chip will be in here probably first. He's gonna be that guy that types in first, I hope. And with Dread is back with me. And I don't know. Got some cool shit to talk about tonight. I've been watching way too many things, and also playing too much Overwatch. But maybe that's a good thing because I would be watching even more things and not finishing those things. Hey, Lord Kobe. Hey, Sweet Pea. Now I know the comments work. Thank you. You guys come in clutch. Although Sweet Pea, I see Lord Kobe's comment first, so I think that this might be, we're on 54. I think this might, or 55. This might be the first Sugoi Boyz episode, I think, where Sweet Pea didn't have the first comment. So your reign of terror is over, Sweet Pea. I'm sorry. Lord Kobe is the Lord now. J-Chip in third, dude. It's okay. Bronze medal's fine. Those guys at the Olympics, like, their parents are proud of them still.
At least it's not a participation medal.
That's true. At least not like the dude who came in last.
You tried.
I remember there was like this one at the Summer Olympics. This is one like rowing event, and there was this dude from like some country in Africa, and he was like, he doesn't have much like professional training. He qualified on his own dinghy. And like the fact that they used the term "his own dinghy" made me laugh so fucking hard because and he was way in last. I mean, the dude's an Olympian, but like
own dinghy.
This man does not have much professional training, but he qualified using his own dinghy.
Oh,
like I hope it's not like out of like it's not like a money thing. Maybe he just prefers like other, like he's gotten sponsorships like thrown at him, and he's like, whoa,
from dinghy.
Hold on a minute, I got my own dinghy. All right. How the fuck do I segue from that?
So what have you been watching?
Too many things. You can go first because I gotta let me siphon in my brain. But yeah, what have you watched or read? Did you knocked out Naruto, didn't you? The manga?
Yeah, I finished Naruto a while ago. Yeah. I'm like almost 300 chapters into Bleach now.
Jesus, are you just going through the big three? Is this what you're the old big three?
Oh, I think I'm gonna take a little bit of break after Bleach before I go into One Piece.
No, man, no rubber. No, you gotta fucking keep going.
So this is what I've noticed so far. Naruto was very easy to read.
You're kidding. No.
Like, it was entertaining. Like, I actually got invested into it. Mm-hmm. Bleach, I feel like Kubo is just sitting there like, I want to draw a fight today. Draws a fight. And he's like, who would fight cool with each other? Oh, let's put Renji with this guy. That's a cool fight. There's no narrative reason that they have to fight. It just looks cool. I feel like that's Kubo with the Bleach. And I'm like, I can only read so much fighting.
It's kind of like how I felt with Gantz. Because like I brought it up on here before. Like I read a fuck ton of Gantz. I didn't finish it, but I read like an absurd amount not to finish it. Which I never will probably, but it just got to be that like I just think, and then watching Inuyashiki, which is from the same guy, later in life, I was like, wow, this guy just likes ridiculous shit, So how much can I repeatedly read ridiculous shit? Because it got to a point where like the people in Gantz were like fighting like demons made out of like arms, and I'm like, and then like they're alien, not demons, aliens. I forgot they're aliens, and then there's randomly people are fucking that like just met, and I don't know what's going on. And when you're saying what's going on at chapter like, fucking 70 something, whatever I was at, it's you're pretty deep there.
I will say, I'm actually kind of enjoying the part in Bleach that I'm at. I think where I'm at is probably my most enjoyable moment with it, with when we're getting into like the Car stuff. So I mean that's only like chapter 280, 300. We'll see how it is by the time I hit 705. Finished Dr. Stone.
Finished it.
Done. Yep. Season 1's done.
Okay, so I haven't seen the newest episode, so I kind of figured, because this would be 26, right?
24.
It's 24?
Yep.
Yeah, I knew it was an even number.
Finished watching that.
You have quick thoughts on Dr. Stone Season 1?
I mean, I've read all of it, so I knew everything that happened. The only thing that I didn't really read was the little song that Gen had in episode 23, because that wasn't in the manga.
How close is the anime to the manga? Like,
it's very, very close.
Okay.
Like, maybe a couple dialogue pieces are missing.
Oh no, I meant in terms of like catching up. Like, is the manga way ahead?
I'm not caught up with the manga.
Okay. What you read of the manga?
Where I am in the manga would be where the next season probably will end.
Okay.
Because if it's called Stone Wars, it's probably only going to cover the second half of the arc that it's in right now.
Mm.
Unless they decide to just go further with it, which they could do. But my assumption is it'll just finish up that arc. It'll be like a 12-episode season. They'll wait for more manga to come out and then do another large season like Attack on Titan did.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm excited then.
Yeah, I think the first season of Dr. Stone was really good. I feel like it could, if they keep that kind of production quality, it'll be a good show all throughout. I watched Demon Slayer, finished that.
Oh, nice. Or not nice, depending on your thoughts.
It was good.
It's not. I don't think it's anime of the decade.
I get what you were saying. I get what you were saying with it. That depends how it goes from here. Because there were some choices that I liked that they made in it, but I also do see where you were coming from. Where you're like, yeah, it is pretty predictable. Like,
it has shades of being something great. It's just an overwhelming shadow of like genericness.
I feel like Kibutsuji could be a really good villain.
Yeah. He's very in my wheelhouse.
Like, depending what they do with him, what happened at the end with what he did with the lower Kizukis, that was pretty cool.
That's pretty fucking sick.
The fight against Rui, I thought was really well done, and that's my favorite fight in the whole show. Other moments are kind of eh. Like, I like him and Urokodaki's relationship. I feel like it took a little too long to get to Zenitsu and Inosuke. Like, they should have been introduced a little sooner. But
Poison Girl, best girl, by the way.
Of course you would think that. but I don't necessarily have any, I guess, big issues with Demon Slayer. I feel like, if anything, it is just what it is, predictable.
The main character's a little dumb. Not dumb. Just like I think I mentioned it at one point in some podcast that like I wish he was more inquisitive. He's not very like he just kind of like lives. Like he doesn't.
He's like, as long as Nezuko's with me, everything is good.
He doesn't ask a lot of questions. He kind of, I mean, he's like willing to go into a fight. He's courageous, but he's just not very like. He's very simple, and that kind of bothers me. It's like
he's like Goku.
Yeah, yeah, without the eating, but
yeah, but the mentality.
Yeah, and we don't know if he's a bad father yet.
Well, let's hope we don't figure that one out.
J-Chip watching Carol and Tuesday. That's on Netflix now, right? Watching Carol and Tuesday, dumbass dumbbell in the longest arc of One Piece, and it's probably my favorite arc. Dawn of Flamingo is the best. Carol and Tuesday, I believe, is the Bebop director.
Yeah, it is.
And I know it's on Netflix, so I'll have to add that to my list. How is Carol and Tuesday, J-Chip? And yes, the final act is the sequel of the decade. I don't know about that, and I haven't even finished the Inuyasha manga, but I'm going to assume and speak for them that they probably disagree because what I've seen with some Inuyasha fans is they do not like how crammed the final act is. I don't give a shit because I just watched it as the anime and it seemed like it was going really fast, but that was welcome after 167 episodes of walking around Japan looking for shards. But, still love it. Give me more of that shit. Hey, Anime Boston. This is, I'm a fucking secondary source here. Anime Boston at the panel where they had Kaoru Wada, who did the music, and there are people on Sunrise. I don't think the director was there, but it was several people on Sunrise because they were also doing some Gundam thing. But then they did an Inuyasha panel, and they were like hinting at like, oh, we're still in touch with Rumiko Takahashi and stuff about making more. And I'm like, well, I don't know, man. I don't know if that's gonna happen.
Let's find more jewel shards, even though the series is done.
No, it's gonna be their kid. It's gonna be Boruto. It's gonna be their kid, and he's gonna fight Boruto in an upcoming Capcom game. It's gonna be the next Capcom game: Inuyasha v Boruto, Ultimate Clash.
Inuyasha versus Boruto's dad.
Yeah, Inuyasha's offspring versus Sesshomaru's nothing.
Inuyasha's son versus Naruto's son.
Things got. In the sequel, things take a dark turn where Naruto gets divorced and he remarries and he has a really bad relationship with a stepkid, and that's like a whole character arc.
I mean, isn't that where the anime is right now?
I don't give a shit.
It's doing dumb time
travel. I don't give a shit if you're the Hokage. You're not my real dad. Carol Tuesday is great. Better than Terror in Resonance? I would hope so. It's also Terror in Resonance, by the way. Still need to watch Kids in the Slope. Just have gonna Gohan fight Boruto. Yeah, I mean, some people would like to see that. I'll have to check out Carol on Tuesday. And we all know my thoughts on Terror and Resonance. Luckily, it's not an anime of the decade. So, all right, in terms of what we'll get to the main thing of tonight, but I've also, because I've been watching and reading several things. I guess reading wise, I started Inspector, which is going to be an upcoming anime in January. And when I saw the preview for the anime, it seemed like something I really, really wanted. So I was like, I'm going to check out the source material. It was originally light novels, though, so I didn't want to do that. And then they have adapted it into manga. So it is by the same guy that did Blast of Tempest. That's all I know about him. I never saw Blast of Tempest. I never read Blast of Tempest. but I knew some people like it. So if anybody in the chat has read or watched that, but it's like a supernatural kind of thriller thing with this like and some like sort of romance aspect of it, sort of, because there's certain people that can like see these like ghost spirit things. When this girl, the main girl, when she was very very young, was kidnapped by them, because she was one of the people that see them. She goes and hangs out with them, rather not really kidnapped. Everybody thought that she was kidnapped, and she makes a deal with them. They say that they're looking for a god of wisdom to, help them understand the ever-changing world, because, but she's a kid at that point, so she's just like, okay, cool. Of course, they're fucking asshole ghosts, so they don't tell her that they're god. They want her to look like it. So it's missing an eye and a leg. So they take her leg and one of her eyes. And so she has this fucking glass eye thing, and she walks around with a cane. And she's like a 17-year-old girl, but who looks slightly younger, by the way. But she can still see the ghosts, and she's still referred to as their god of wisdom. So she actually has this ability to speak with them whenever she wants, and sees them all over the place and gains kind of information from them. Specifically, she uses it for upcoming like dangerous events, trying to prevent like sort of like disaster scenarios and stuff like that. Solve sort of like mystery kind of thing. And then the main guy, they haven't dug into that much yet, but he has some kind of weird connection with spirits and this tragic accident that happened to him, which made him like a fucking like super powerful dude for some reason. And I don't know if he's immortal. I'm going to assume that he's immortal because of events that happened. But I don't know. It seems kind of interesting. Like I said in a video a while ago, I wanted like a supernatural hunting-esque kind of anime. It gets a little kind of silly at times. I'm hoping that it maybe gets a tad more serious in other volumes. I got a couple more volumes recently, but volume 1 was pretty good. As for other shit that I watched, Ruby started a new season a while ago, and I wasn't paying attention, so I had to catch up. Haven't seen today's or yesterday's episode, but I have seen episode 7. That's been going pretty good. It's Ruby. I love Ruby. Justin, you should check out Ruby because I know you watch it. But the new season's up. Started Dusk Maiden of Amnesia, 2 episodes in. That's an interesting one.
It was an alright show.
Aspects of it that I really like. Other things are really annoying. Did you watch the dub?
I think I saw both.
Okay. It's from an era of dubs where they decided to keep the honorifics in. And it's very cringy to me. It just sounds weird.
Oh, Sato-san.
Taichi-kun. Of course, the ghost girl is always teasing the guy. So she's like, "You can touch me anywhere, Taichi-kun." But I don't know, kind of cool show about like this ghost chick who's kind of hot, like walking around this school, and she doesn't remember how she died. I'm sorry, that's what the show's trying to portray to you. That's what her 2 episodes in, that's her biggest characteristic. Because I don't really know anything about her personality besides she likes to fuck around with the guy and the poor blonde girl who's just trying to be in the paranormal club. She's kind of like an asshole.
If I remember when I watched that with Justin looked at Yuko and he was like, "That looks like the girl from Dog and Scissors."
Yeah, who's also hot. So there we go. We're also assuming that this is an assumption that she's 18 or that I am a teenager.
Dead. So
that makes it okay? All right, Dredd is pro banging dead bodies, everybody.
She is infinitely whatever age she is in the show.
Okay. 30.
I have a feeling she's probably like 15.
I don't know what you're talking about, man. But yeah, it's pretty good. I love the OP. It's got a pretty.
I'm looking this up for you.
Her age? She's definitely a teenager. She's
an
older high schooler because
she is exactly 15 years old.
Well,
at the time of death, she was 15. She is currently 75, though.
That's a spoiler alert. Now I know she's been dead for 60 years. Well, that makes sense. Her body's a skeleton. Because they find her body. Spoiler alert. Not really a spoiler. It doesn't really fucking matter. But yeah, I mean, it's all right. It's, the dub is weird. And it's kind of odd to me how the tone of the show wants to like jump all over the place. It's kind of weird. It feels to me like the kind of show where it's like imagine like a dude I picture a dude going up to like a piano and he's about to play this like really intense score, right? He's about to, bring you on this journey, this like, kind of maybe creepy little journey. And then he just starts playing like weird, silly shit for like 30 seconds. And then he goes back and like the audience is just looking at each other like, wait a minute, did he just grab the ghost's tit? Yeah, he did. Because that happens.
It's like I said, it's an all right show. It has its moments.
Yeah, interesting concept. I have a feeling that there's going to be some feels down the line. It isn't necrophilia. She's still moving. I think the Dog and Scissors lady is over 18. I don't remember. I don't want to, but she's like a bitch if I remember correctly. So she gets docked some points.
Did you die, Miasma? Miasma, did you die? He did break, didn't he? Thanks, Light. Thanks for telling me that he got broken. I guess I'm the only one here now. So I don't know what he's gonna talk about. I'm just gonna keep my eye on here, see if he shows up now. How about Food Wars? What about Food Wars, Justin? That it's a really good story. Oh, is Windows is updating? Let's see, where does he say that it's updating? Oh, he not only is it updating, he blue screened. What is this? That is unfortunate for him. Everybody send Miasma a message saying, just send him Fs. Just straight up send him Fs. I take over once and for all. I suppose that's true. I'll have to see whenever he shows back up if I can truly take over. I don't know how long this will actually keep going, being he's the one that started this stream and it's streaming on his account. I wonder if it'll keep going. There he is.
So that was a really weird thing that happened.
So you blue screened.
I blue screened for the first time I think in my life.
Don't worry, I kept everybody
and probably doo-dooed myself.
here.
I didn't know that was the thing that happens.
Apparently, Osiris said that I took over once and for all.
At first, I thought it was just like an update, but then it said your PC rated to probably needs to restart. We're just collecting some error info. We'll restart for you.
Let's just hope it doesn't happen again.
And then it went from 45% to 100% in a second, and then restarted my PC. So there was that. If anybody in the chat has any idea what the fuck that was, there you go. Throw me a bone.
The last thing we really heard you say was stuff about Dusk Maiden.
Dusk Maiden is okay. I think I like the OP. I think it's gonna have some feels toward the end. Kind of worried about that, but let's get to, before my computer explodes, the main topic of tonight: JoJo's Bizarre Adventure. This was, kind of a big push request by one of my Overwatch teammates, Jors, who might be watching this. If he is, hey man. Several other people have told me to watch JoJo's, but he was one of the more adamant ones. So I just watched part 1, 9 episodes. Phantom Blood, in the dub on Netflix. Overall thoughts, I can see why people love it. From a distance, I thought it was weird. I think it's less weird than I did before. I think it's way more entertaining than I thought it would be, but I don't think I'm going to watch it anymore. I just don't think it's something I want to necessarily sign up for, and I've been told that it gets better. It's the whole Hunter x Hunter thing. And I don't think it was bad. I don't think it was weird. It was it's a weird over dramaticness a lot of the time, and the accents are kind of shitty. But I guess that's what it's supposed to be. But the fights are cool. I like that one on the fight with the dude with the chains. The death match thing was cool. Dio's an asshole, but I like him because I like villains. The whole mask turning you into a vampire thing's kind of odd. Spoiler alert, I guess. But
I mean, the story's 30 years old now. I don't think it's much of a spoiler.
Yeah. But yeah, I will say I was impressed. It exceeded my expectations for sure. But some stuff weirds me out. The character designs are kind of odd.
Yeah, so the character designs are going to change every so often.
Okay.
Because they kind of adapt the character designs based off of what the characters looked like at the end of the part that was being adapted when it was drawn. And as Araki went through drawing JoJo, his character designs became less absurd and more realistic for the humans, at least.
Okay.
And I won't say part one is different more so than anything. It's a good introduction to JoJo, and it does have a lot of the stuff that you'll see going forward. But the absurdity and all of that just ramps up higher in part 2.
Yeah.
And I agree with what Light said in chat. You should at least stick around to watch
part 2. How long is part 2?
It's the rest of the first season.
Okay, so it's
17 episodes, roughly.
17 episodes?
Yeah.
Maybe. I did catch a few minutes of the next episode, introducing Joseph, I think.
Part 2 is the big point where you can really make the judgment. If you don't see yourself going forward after part 2, part 2 really encompasses more of what JoJo's going to be like all the way forward.
Okay. Maybe I will check out part 2. Perhaps.
Because the biggest issues with part 1 is it is kind of dated, and judging by standards of stories you see today, it's pretty basic. right? It's not bad. It's just most decisions that were made in it were made back in the 80s. And
it got to be repetitive. It got to be semi-repetitive within 9 episodes because it was just like he goes.
I can see that.
It's like Dio's a guy. We should go get Dio. Oh, there's this hormone shit. Hey, Dio made zombies, by the way. Let's fight the zombies. Fuck, Dio got away again. But there's zombies. Oh, wait, there's more zombies over here, which means we're going to act... There's zombies, which means there must be Dio. Hey, and then he comes out. He's like, "Hey, what's up? It's Dio again."
See,
well, I don't know what gave it away. Was it the fucking zombies?
I think part 2 is much, much stronger. And then, like I said, after you watch part 2, you make a decision because I have some negative thoughts about part 3. I'm not a huge fan of part 3.
I had a friend drag me to watch The Friend. I have to watch the second of Stardust. Is it Stardust Crusaders? I think it is. But I'll admit that I like the part the most.
Yeah, Stardust Crusaders.
That's 2. That's 3. Okay. Let's see. What I know George was curious about me because he'll probably check this in the future if he's not live. The OP, he was like, "Oh, dude, you see if you like the OP." The OP is weird. The OP
all of them are, but some of them are genuinely like really good songs.
You know, the song is all right. The weird 3D animation is odd. Considering what I'm going to bring up at sort of toward the end of this podcast is something that I want to watch. But it's you know, it was better. It's better than Dusk Maiden. It was entertaining. I think the if I'm intrigued most by anything, it is like conceptually that I know that it's generational, and that I think that's what I've been led to believe.
It is,
and that Hormone seems like they just obviously like tapped into it, what it can do and what you can do with it. So I'd imagine that the ceiling on Hormone probably gets fucking ridiculous. This is going to be a Madara throwing meteors at people.
Well, not to go too much into it, but part 2 is the last part that will use Hormone as its major power.
Oh, okay.
They change it up in part 3. Hormone still makes some minor appearances, but it won't be the major power that they use after that.
Okay. Has anybody got some questions about my because there are a couple people I know that have been waiting for me to watch this for a while, and I kind of kept it very low.
How did you feel about Danny?
Oh, dude, rip. Press F, dude. Fucking Danny, dude. That was a bummer. That made me like not want to go into episode 2. Like that was such like a bummer. I was like, all right, man.
Okay, I think my biggest complaint with part 1 is like you go through all of that stuff in the first like 2 or 3 episodes, and then in like I think it's like episode 4, here's Jonathan and Dio playing football together.
Oh, it was I think it was rugby, but
whatever they were,
and they're both like why does like. What like I love the size proportion of characters.
Oh,
not even just talking the main characters, because I want to bring up of the few minutes that I saw of episode 10 when we meet Joseph. There's a scene in an alley with these cops,
with Smokey Brown,
and these cops, and there's the cop is like he grabs the kid. And then he's holding him, and his hand makes the kid's head look like a fucking golf ball. And I'm like, do we live in Giant Land? Like, what is happening? Like, I get, like, they clearly explain early on that, like, that Jonathan is like 6'4". I get that. He's naturally a big dude, and I guess Dio is too.
I can't wait. If you watch part 2 and go to part 3, wait until you see the character designs of part 3. They have tire shoulders.
Tire shoulders?
It'll make more sense when you see them.
Okay. There's F Danny's in the chat.
Americans were much bigger back then.
Yeah, man. They ate more pure protein. He also I do want to say he kind of like learns this like hormone shit pretty quickly. He's very like. I feel like my complaints about JoJo is like when they come out of my mouth, I feel like it's just like there's a little like devil on my shoulder that's like that's what they're going for. That's what it's supposed to be. So like the stuff like the over dramatic dialogue, I'm like, all right, that's intentional. And then I'm assuming
no, you're right. Jonathan does learn Hamon very quickly, and
he's also like he just gets out of shit just because he's Jonathan. Like there's like moments where they're like, there's no way he'd be able to move, and he's like, I'm going into cardiac arrest. Both my arms are broken, my spine is fractured, and my eyes have been removed. But I will still win this fight. And I'm like, what the fuck, dude?
Some of these issues are fixed with Joseph.
Okay. Meanwhile, this other guy that studied Hamon for like a bajillion years gets cut in half. And then this guy that learned it 5 days ago or some shit. Like
sorry, Will. Rip Zeppeli.
You know what? The guru guy should have told him was like he was like this. If you accept the life of Hamon, it will seal your fate, and you will die like a bitch in front of a guy that just learned it from you.
How do you feel about Speedwagon?
Oh, Ario. Oh, also on that note, I want to note that like the musical references are pretty funny. Because that
won't stop.
I knew that was going to be a thing. I knew that was going to be a thing. Like, what's the Guru Master guy's name? It's
Tom Petty.
Tom Petty. Ario Speedwagon. I was hoping would like do something.
But even he's afraid.
Yeah, but he has a hat. He has a hat that like cuts shit, right?
Yeah, he's got like a bladed hat.
I'm trying to remember what he actually like because he spends a lot of the show just like oh Jojo. Oh, there should be like a compilation of every time Ario Speedwagon freaks out.
He finds more usefulness in part 2 and 3.
I dare somebody to rewatch part 1 and take a shot every time Speedwagon freaks out. Two things. You take a shot every time he freaks out or praises JoJo. One of those, because that's like it. I feel like if you asked him...
Anytime somebody says JoJo.
I feel like if you asked Speedwagon like any other thought of life, his brain would like do what like my computer just did. It would like... JoJo! Oh, jolly good, JoJo! Like, we asked you what your favorite kind of ice cream was. JoJo! That's not a flavor of ice cream. Do you have any thought of your own? Do you have the mind of a child? No, JoJo! Jolly good, JoJo! Right! I think he wants a good tussle. But that's cool. I like the first zombie guy that they fight. Guy with the you have like a sword or something. The smaller one, the bigger one. The bigger one's fight was cool, but he was annoying.
I don't remember.
Oh, it's a long time ago for you. But Dio summons these two fucking zombie dudes, and he makes them fight the other dudes. He makes them fight Jonathan. It's kind of also repetitive how they keep like going after Dio, knowing that like his touch like freezes shit. And then they're like surprised. They're like, "Oh, this no fighter has ever dodged this attack."
But with the sort of luck and pluck, you can.
The sort of luck and pluck. Oh my goodness. But yeah, it was a good experience, and maybe I will have to check out 2. But I mean, there's so many other. I'm also technically watching Hakusho still. I forgot to mention that. Because Hakusho's still going on in the background.
You made it out of the dark tournament though, right?
Oh yeah, I'm in chapter. I don't know how. I'm pretty deep in chapter black. They just beat Seaman, and Seaman's like hanging out with them now. And their sniper guy tried to kill him, and I forget what that might have been. Was that the last thing that happened? I don't know. The fucking Seaman kids with the Seaman kid. The Seaman kid's with them now.
So they're going towards Game Master?
I believe so. I don't remember. Because I don't remember Game Master exactly. I know that we've seen, like, Gore, I'm assuming it's Gourmet ate the fucking brother of Toguro. And my guess is, like, he eats shit and, like, absorbs its abilities or something. I think that was the last one. Yeah, they killed because Toguro was fucking in, like, a fish tank. And then they're like, we got plans for you. And he's like, okay, let me get my revenge. And then, what are you doing? And he eats them. You got out of the most predictable part of Yu Yu Hakusho. The rest is more enjoyable to watch to an extent. I kind of like, so, I mean, the tournament's really cool, but I really, really enjoyed, when we first meet those three, the taboo guy, the fucking copy guy, and the shadow guy. When we first meet those three, I was like, this is I think it's an interesting change. And I noticed in some fucking shitty Watch Mojo video, they were like weirdest, like, I don't know, they were like bad episodes. It was bad episodes and good anime. And they mentioned Yu Yu Hakusho, the taboo episode. And I was like, I thought that episode was fucking awesome. Well, maybe not awesome because it's not like super action packed, but it was cool because it was this like badass action show which just had one of the coolest fights I've ever fucking seen, and now it's having like a battle of wits. It reminded me of like in some regard of like March Comes in Like a Lion has like shit that makes me fucking laugh and feel so warm and happy in one show. 10 minutes later in the episode, I almost want to, jump off a bridge.
What you're describing is basically why I like Chapter Black so much more than the Dark Tournament. Yeah. Because that's basically what Chapter Black is as a whole arc.
Yeah, it's super interesting to me. I'm a big fan of Powers. I think this dude, is it Tagashi or something? Is the writer?
I wrote it, Togashi, yeah.
Yeah. I'll give it to him because I haven't read his shit, but I watched Hunter x Hunter, and now I've watched a lot of Hakusho. The dude knows how to do powers. Like,
oh yeah, without a doubt. He is
very like in depth. Like sometimes in Hunter x Hunter to the point of like confusing.
Nen can get a little absurd. I won't say absurd, but there's a lot for you to like really understand Nen. But he went into so much detail where it's like, you can't tell me that my power doesn't make sense.
Yeah, I kind of wish that he had like added some feedback on Hamon. That way we don't just get like a different overdrive, which is just like a punch.
Sunlight yellow overdrive.
Underwater overdrive. Which by the way now makes me just think of Toxtricity in Pokemon Shield. Because he has a
because of
overdrive.
Because of boom.
No, overdrive. Yeah, he has overdrive and boom burst. Tagashi knows how to do shonen. I will agree. I don't know. I haven't finished Hakusho, but it'd be nice if he could finish a story, because Hunter x Hunter is a thing and still a thing. So I don't know how good the ending of Hakusho is going to be, but I was for an arc that I was worried about going into, I am heavily impressed by Chapter Black. Definitely. I'm not ready to say that I think it's vastly superior to the tournament, because I think that the tournament was done very, very, very well. but I think that it's a good like sort of like transition. I think it's a good contrast to the stuff that was going on. So that's been good.
If anything, I think Chapter Black also puts the existence of the Dark Tournament into a lot of perspective.
Yeah.
It's like, well, why did we really go there, and why did all of that happen? Why were we invited? Why did we have to do this? Why did Tagoro bring us here? Well, there's your answer.
Press up for Tagoro, dude. Spending life in limbo, wherever the fuck he is. Where he goes to with his shades that he wears inside. Tagoro, fucking amazing character, by the way. Really, really cool. I liked him a lot. I like Dio too. I think Dio's fucking. I am. So he's like a vamp. So like I'm assuming this is just now I'm gonna make my JoJo assumptions here. So it's generational, right? And then we know what happens at the end of part 1 or whatever. So I'm assuming Dio's like immortal. So he's just going to like he's just always going to, or for the most part, going to continue being a thing.
He will come back.
Okay.
He won't always be the threat, but he will always be related to the threat.
Okay. All right. That's cool. Jonathan was a pretty good dude. I liked him. I thought he was like the show paints him as like, you know, Mr. Perfect, which I guess is the point. But you know, it was cool, and I'm assuming that he, you know, finally got it in with Arena. But so that happened. I was a tad confused toward the end. Well, she's pregnant and has the kid that they found?
Yeah, so she has the kid that they found, and she's pregnant with Jonathan's baby.
Okay.
So technically she's got 2 kids.
Oh, okay. Maybe, and I'm assuming maybe they're brothers? Razor's brothers?
You'll find that out in part 2.
That'd be kind of cool. But yeah, it was enjoyable. I'm glad I finally checked it out. I can sort of, you know, say, hey, I've seen some JoJo's in my life. F for whatever that blue thing was with Yusuke. Plu? Is that what his name? Plu? I think Plu?
Poo? Bird?
Plu? Something? Yeah, the thing that's like his spirit animal.
Yeah, his spirit animal. Yeah. I think Poo.
Dio is like Togashi. He'll come back eventually. Yugashi says, okay, so it has a satisfying ending. That's good. Yeah, that's cool. I touched on something that I wanted to check out, and it's mostly because I was ignorant to its existence until like 6 days ago. Apparently, there's some Netflix show, Dragon Prince.
Okay.
Which is from the one of the writers and character designer of Avatar: The Last Airbender, and it's a CG animated series, and it's already in its 3rd season. So with the seasons are only 9 episodes, and it's on Netflix. And it's I don't know. I'm more interested. I mean, I never got into Korra, because I heard many things about Korra, and I was kind of like, Avatar to me was very well wrapped up, in my opinion. Like I didn't need any more. But I did it. This is different because it's like a different thing, a whole different like world franchise sort of deal. So I'm kind of interested in it. It seems kind of cool. Seems like this cool like kind of fantasy realm type thing. It's got some like white hair assassin looking elf girl who, you know, may have piqued my interest. But I don't know. It seems kind of cool. It's, you know, and I want to, you know, kind of support, you know, some American animation going on. because unfortunately we don't get a lot of that in the mature spectrum.
What, Family Guy's not mature enough for you?
No, it's not. We need more Has Been Hotel. We need more 80% of Ruby. Because Ruby at times, as much as
You
I
don't
love
need
it,
more Primal?
no, we don't need more Primal. Gendy Tartakovsky can retire. I said it. Korra has good moments, but overall it's just okay. See, I'm fine. I am fine. It's kind of like Steins Gate Zero, or I'm fine with not seeing it, even though I saw some of Steins Gate Zero and regretted it. I don't want that to happen. I went into Steins Gate Zero, watched a couple episodes, regretted it. I don't want to go into Korra, watch a few episodes, and be like, well, my worldview on this realm is slightly tainted now. But yeah. So I kind of want to check that out. And finish Hakusho at some point. And I guess I'm going to finish Dusk Maiden of Amnesia and figure out what the fuck happened to Yuko. Because I'm curious. But yeah. I guess that's all I got to say. Any more questions on my opinion about JoJo's? Do you want me to make a tier list of my JoJo characters?
Yeah, I think you should.
S tier, that lady that ate her own baby. F tier for perspective. Fucking that one guy that kicks really slow that got turned into ice and ripped into pieces.
What about Dario? Where's Dario?
Dario. Wait, which one's Dario again? Dario's the.
Sad.
Oh, okay. B tier. I don't know. He's all right. He kind of he's sick. Not really his fault.
The girls that chase after Jonathan in school.
Oh, they're all thoughts, dude. They're all F tier. Fucking Danny, S tier. Danny is S tier, dude. Because he did more in his screen time than other people did in 9 episodes. Speedwagon, D tier.
Oh, those are fighting words with some people.
I don't know what happens later on, but season 1 or part 1, Speedwagon, D tier. Okay?
That's where everybody likes Speedwagon from, too, is part 1.
Why? What does he do? He throws his hat once, and then the rest of the time, he's just a nice guy.
Even Speedwagon is retreating.
Is that a meme?
Yeah.
Best moment in JoJo Part 1. That's a good one.
Light is really going in about this frog.
Best moment in Part 1. I thought it was kind of fucking sick and twisted when that lady ate her own kid. That was pretty dark as fuck. That was like I figured the show would get dark at times, but I didn't think it would like depict that. And that was cool. I'm trying to think, like the absolute coolest moment. I guess when he gets the powers from the dying guy that got cut in half, the top hat dude. When he's like, the dude is cut in half, and he fucking reaches out to him, and he's like, "Take all of my fucking power, infinite power." Fucking Palpatine,
Jojo.
fucking Palpatine shooting lightning at him, like infinite power, and then like, then he, can do Mega Overdrive now, or whatever the fuck it is. But that was pretty cool. He gets all orangey, or orangey in Japanese. I don't remember someone eating their own kid in Part 1. Didn't phase me, I guess. Yeah, it's it's when Dio takes over like one of the villages or whatever. There's this one lady with a baby, and she's like, "You can take me, but don't harm my baby." And he's like, "Let me understand your fucking shit. Let me understand your dilemma. You want to barter with me? You for me and my minions not touching your baby. You have a deal." And he's like, I promise, me or my minions won't touch your baby. And she's like, oh, thank you, I'll suck your dick. And she actually doesn't suck her dick. But he fucking shoves his blood into her, whatever the fuck he does. Sucks her blood. And then she becomes a ghoul thing. And then she, as a demon thing, as a zombie, eats her own baby. Pretty fucked.
It's okay. I won't tell you the details, but Dio does do stuff with that thing of his.
With his dick?
Yeah.
I'm assuming so. He has like infinite power. I'm assuming he's going to have descendants.
Oh yes, a few of them.
I don't know who wants to fuck him, but like, well, okay, I guess can he like fuck a zombie? Can a zombie have a kid? Or probably, I'm gonna guess no, and I'm gonna guess that he just gets some like.
That'll get answered way down the line, like part 5 and 6.
Okay, so I'm assuming he's just gonna get some wench. Then he just bangs and has a kid with.
Part 5 and 6.
God damn it. Rip Danny Joestar. Yes, the worst thing in part 1 is press F for Danny, dude. No, it's the worst thing. What's the absolute worst thing that happens in Jojo's part 1?
Probably the fact that George is so stupid and thinks Dio's a good kid.
Yeah. You know what? The actions of the police in like episode 4 or whatever, when they're like, they could have easily just apprehended Dio a long time before he did anything, and then he fucking kills the dad and gets the mask on himself. Like, they have like the shittiest police I've ever seen in my life. I guess them, but the real answer is press F for Danny. I guess it kind of sucks that, Jonathan has to die. Spoiler alert. It kind of blows. But at least he didn't, get his body taken over by the weird. Why didn't fucking? Well, I guess no, that makes sense. Because I guess my first thought was I thought that the drunken priest guy that like goes down to the coffin. I thought Dio was just gonna like take that dude's body, and because he was just a head at that point, and then he's like, "Nah, man, I want Jonathan's." Because like they set it up like that guy's going down to the coffin. I'm like, all right, they set up this priest character who's an alcoholic, and he goes down there, which is like similar to Vinland Saga. Now that I think about it, he goes down there, and I'm like, all right, maybe this guy's gonna be a character. He's gonna get his body taken over or some shit. No, he gets his head like blown off. Like what the fuck? But yeah, that happened. But overall,
he's asking you best girl in JoJo. You only know like 2.
There's only like one girl.
Erina.
Yeah.
And the random mother.
I think there's only 2 female characters.
Like female characters don't really come into play too much until part 2.
Well, isn't one of the like Joestars like a girl later on?
Not till part 6.
Yeah, well, along the line, they got woke. But I guess best girl's Arena by default. That's fucking not like you're winning a race against no one. See, even Dio, what's wrong? Best boy, Danny. It's easy. All right. I want to thank everybody for coming. Please check out Dread and J-Chip's channels down below. And if you haven't seen JoJo's, you can check it out on Netflix. It's worth it. It's 9 episodes. It's not much of your time. I took a really long time to watch it because I watch too many things at once and I have too many activities planned and I procrastinate. But you could probably watch it, in 1 or 2 sittings. And it's definitely like bingeable for sure because it's kind of just like I could see it being like a movie because it's just like this tale of a dude. It's a very like solid little tale that can easily go into other things. But yeah, I thought it was pretty enjoyable. I want to thank everybody for coming, and I hope you guys have a great week. I will see you later.
Say it.